Come out to play. Brandon, come out to play. Mr. Tucker, come out to play.
Come on, man.
Mr. Tucker, come out to play. Mr. Tucker, come on out to play. Where are you, Mr. Tucker?
Where y'all at?
Come out to play.
Look at.
Check 1, 2. It's time to expose the fraud. It's time for us to go hard. It's time to expose the fraud. It's time for us to go hard. It's time to expose the fraud. It's time for us to go hard. It's time to expose the frauds. It's time for us to go hard. It's time to expose the fraud. It's time for us to go hard. First of all, let me welcome y'all to Moore's World TV. Come on, it's time to go. Ain't nobody gonna deceive me. Deceive who? Deceive you. Never on my watch. Time to go pull out the pot. Come on, the heat. Let's make it hot. I tried to warn them. When you're rolling with the guard, I tried to warn them. Boxing Apple X and Sean. Come on. Jasmine and the Queen. I tried to warn them. Tried to warn them. Come on. Anybody they can get it. Let's get it on the fam. World TV investigating all scams. Come on. Go on, check my record. What? Please don't front. Come on. Keep it a buck. I ain't been wrong once. From Sinetta and Polite and to Tariq Nasheed, Zulu, Shabazz and Grandmaster J. Talk to him. All the frauds. I brought them to their knees, but it ain't nothing. Watch how I do it to Tariq Nasheed. I tried to warn him. This is Moore's World TV. I'm your host, brother Taharkabey. What? Get on these frauds' neck. Where you at? Let's go. Get him. Where you at? Hit that subscribe. That's right. Let everybody know it's going down. This is light work. We're around with him. We're mad at that boy. The show starts now. We're mad at that boy. We're mad at that boy. Didn't I tell him? What mattered that boy? Crypto! What mattered that boy? Hey! I be that more you gon' remember. Hey! I'ma be that more you gon' remember. What mattered that boy? I be that more you gon' remember. Taharkabey front line till the law call my number. Come on! I be that more you gon' remember. Everybody share this. What mattered that boy? You gon' remember, that's right. What's wrong with that boy? You gon' remember. Taharkabey front line till the law call my number. What up, black boy? A friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those who speak against the what matter that boy? Me. And what up that fly? What matter with that boy? Behind you back. Hey! The mountains, Mississippi and Quebec. Come on. Told you wasn't black. What? Proved it with straight facts. What? Tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European, how to pay. I try to look at that women. I try to warn them. I try to love myself. I try to warn them. Really care. Have now. Come on, man. A love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharkabey front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharkabey front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler. This era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but
Try
it's
to-
only on the surface.
I try to warn 'em.
for them people. Now tell me what's your purpose.
Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't my bro.
Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I see
try to
it
warn
all
'em.
before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show.
And some got it right now.
Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores.
I
my
try to
schools,
warn
my
'em.
nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't
I
love
tried my
yourself,
best.
You can't love your neighbor. That's why you killing, fighting, marry out of your race.
I tried my best, Black Warrior Spirit. I tried my best.
Italians love Italy. If you used to love the war,
I tried, Crypto.
Let's go.
It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault.
That's right. I be that
It
boy you
ain't
gon'
my
remember.
fault.
Taharkabey front line.
I tried,
Taharkabey
Stephen
X.
X.
I be that boy you gon' remember.
What up there, Fly?
I'ma be that boy you gon'
Hey.
remember. That's right.
I
be that boy
tried
you gon'
my
remember.
best.
Taharkabey front line.
Man, come on.
I be that boy you gon' remember.
We ain't gonna play with you.
I be
We ain't
that
gonna play
boy
with
gon'
you.
remember. That town.
Oh,
I
my
be that boy
goodness,
you gon'
man.
remember. Taharkabey front line.
Man,
Till the
listen,
law
man.
call my number.
I tried
I
mind
be
my
that boy you
business.
gon' remember. LA.
I tried mind my business.
I be that boy
But
you
it's
gon' remember.
always one
Taharkabey
fool
front line till the law call
that
my
can't
number.
remain cool. Man, let me tell you something, family. Welcome to another edition of Morse World TV. I'm your host, Brother Taharkabey, and I tried to mind my business. Now, I told y'all, what up, Roland Curtis? Now, I told y'all that I do not research people until they come for me. California love in the building. Hey, I do not research people until they come for me. Did you see the fool come for the Grand Sheik? Press 7 if you seen the fool come for the Grand Sheik. I'm talking about the one that would embrace someone calling him a homosexual. Someone that will embrace and calling him a federale. Someone that would embrace this foolishness. What type of weirdo is this? What type of weirdo is this? That he would embrace someone referring to him as a homosexual. As a homosexual. He would even call himself Bucci, a homosexual. Is something wrong with me? Is this a weird clout chaser? Is this a weird op? Who is this guy? That he would embrace someone, name him a homosexual. A bad homosexual. Not only a bad homosexual, but a op homosexual. Bear. Huh? He would embrace it and call himself Bucci. And notice that the B and Bucci is one and the same. You know what I'm talking about? He thought Brandon was suing Tariq too. Nah. Let me tell you something. Don't believe in the smoke and mirrors. I'm going to tell you now. Don't you dare believe in the smoke and mirrors. You hear what I say? If you believe in the smoke and mirrors, then you're going to be sadly mistaken. I'm telling you right now, family. A lot of smoke and mirrors go on this YouTube streets. I'm going to help you understand it. I'm going to help you understand it tonight. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying about the smoke and mirrors. In fact, for all of y'all who celebrate the holidays, Merry Griftmas to you. Because you have been grifting, you've been grifting, I would imagine so. All right. Now, before we get started, got a little coffee. I'm drinking coffee tonight because I wanna knock this one out of the park. Before we get started tonight, what I'm going to ask you, have you seen the videos that this fool, why would this fool do this? I don't understand. I do not understand why this fool wants to clout chase on me. I have never came for this guy. I have never had no interest in coming for this guy. And this guy want to clout chase on me. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. But it does make sense when you begin to peel the layers back. Family, Some of the beef that you see on the internet most likely possibly could be orchestrated. You hear what I say? Listen, without the villain, and people could try to use this for me too, but it's not true, and we can go ahead, you can come on, you can question me anytime you want to. You see what I'm saying? Hold on. Without the villain, there is no need for the hero. For the fake hero to exist, there have to be opposition. And on social media and in social platforms, there's always, with Tariq Nasheed, will be some form of controlled opposition. Family, have you watched Tariq Nasheed invite people to his channel that he never show their faces? You never know who they are, and they talk as if like they're Haitians agreeing with him or disagreeing with him, that they're white supremacists agreeing with him or disagreeing with him. Anybody ever watch Tariq Nasheed bring these actors on his platform? Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying. Has anybody ever did that? Anybody ever watched him? He bring these actors on and act like they are going against him. Act like they're respectfully being white supremacists. And when I say respectfully, they don't do the over the top to get the YouTube channel taken. Because a lot of white supremacists, if they have white supremacist ideology, they go hard. They don't stay in a safe space. But everyone that Tariq brings on stays in a safe space. Anybody ever notice that? They stay in a safe space. It doesn't compromise. Like, listen. They can go back and forth all day long. It will never get out of hand because it's controlled. Let me show you the difference. I had a guy on my platform. The people that come on Moorish World TV and disagree with me, I got to cut the mic off. You understand what I'm saying? I literally got to cut the mic off. You hear what I say? I got to cut the mic off because they're going to say something to try to compromise Moorish World TV. Because we haven't set that up. We don't arrange calls. We just randomly say, come on in. And so, one time when I used to bring them on the channel, right? One time I used to bring them on the channel and put the link in, man, people started flashing. Anybody remember that? People would start flashing. And so what I'm trying to tell you is that a lot of times what you see is not what you think. A lot of times this is controlled opposition. Now the question becomes, I'm going to ask all of y'all, and listen, let me explain this to you. Listen to this. If you have been following the Tariq Nasheed series here on Moorish World TV, I want you to first understand the horse that I have in the race. The horse that I have in the race is I was talking about questioning the legitimacy of FBA. Tariq jumped out the window and attacked me 20 times or more on his own platform. You see what I'm talking about? Now, question. Y'all been watching Brandon just as long as I have. What horse in the race do Brandon have? Can anybody give me a hint? He just don't like Tariq? He just making commentary? I just told you, I identify as a Moorish American. I look at the concept that we have went to black, Negro, colored, African American, Afro American, and all these terms, Hebrew, Moorish. I identify as an identifying marker in history. And so it would make sense that I would enter into this conversation and ask questions. So the question is, what is the motivation for a Brandon in a conversation like this? He's not a part of ADOS. He's not a part of FBA. He's not a part of a constructive organization. And he's definitely not an African pan-Africanist. He's definitely not a pan-Africanist. He's definitely not a pan-Africanist. So how does it that we are so lost in history of ideology and concept that this guy can come in and call himself Pan-Africanism strike back, and who is his elder? Who is his elder? Huh? Where did he learn the ideology of Pan-Africanism from? Where? Who is it? Who is it? See, this is what we got to start to do, our checks and balances with people. Because when people come in and they give themselves a tag and name themselves something, you got to make them qualify it. What qualifies him to be a Pan-Africanist? Somebody in the crowd? Somebody know? Help me out. What qualifies him to be a Pan-Africanist? Anybody know? I'm asking somebody to help me, please. Huh? What's the motivation? Because clearly, let's start with that. Let's start with that. Clearly, this guy is not a Pan-Africanist. Clearly. Let me show you something. First of all, family, we're gonna be here tonight. A Pan-Africanist, a true-blooded Pan-Africanist, does not, will not be a shield for Trump. A true-blooded Pan-Africanist does not and will not. Do anybody know what a Pan-African ideal is? Anybody know? Blacks are begging Trump to come back. There is a true Pan-Africanist does not support the structure or system that has led to their demise. A true Pan-Africanist does not do that. A true Pan-Africanist does not choose from one devil over the other. A true Pan-Africanist doesn't do that. A true Pan-Africanist is trying to move the colonization out the mind of the people so we can be independent and serve our own needs. A true Pan-Africanist do that. A true Pan-Africanist does not in no way, shape, or form. You hear what I say? In no way, shape, or form make posts like this. Pan-African strikes back. Attend the protest. Receive 20 years. You know what this guy says? He's defending this guy here that is a known Fed. Do anybody know that? Press 7. Who is this guy and do anybody know who he is? On his post, he is defending this Republican shield right here who is a known Fed. Anybody know who this guy is? Enrico. Anybody know who this is? Huh? This guy's a known op. A known op. And he's defending him on his social media page. He defends him on his social media page. Let me pull this up for you, just for clarification. Just for clarification. Let me pull it up just for clarification real quick. Just for clarification. Just so you know. Just so you know. Give me 1 second, indulge me, because I wasn't gonna pull this up because I got a lot to go. I got a lot to go. I got a lot to show you tonight. Let me pull it up for you real quick. How does a true Pan-Africanist, here come, stand by. How does one call himself a Pan-Africanist and defend one? And defend one. 1 second. Let me show it to you real quick. Let me drop this on you real quick. Here we go. Let me where my thing at? Here we go. Let me drop this on you real quick. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm throwing it in right now. Here go the Proud Boys guy. Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio was an FBI informant. How do you go on your social media and defend an FBI informant when the Pan-African movement is about liberation, detachment, and moving on towards sovereignty as it relates to African unity? How? You tell me how that makes sense. You tell me how that makes sense. How in the world can this person represent the thoughts of those who has been ostracized by another group of people, but nevertheless, what he does is he panders for those same group of people? How does that work? And how do people fall for this okie doke? How do people fall for this okie doke? This is why history is so important. See, if we study history, this stuff wouldn't be able to happen. You don't get to call yourself Pan-Africanism strike back just because it's the internet age. Somebody should call him out on this. He's an economic Pan-Africanist. He is not a Pan-Africanist. In fact, let's talk about what a Pan-Africanist is. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's deal with Dr. John Henry Clarke real quick. Let's talk about it. Our great historian, departed ancestor John Henry Clarke, described in his classic book, Notes of an African World Revolution, that the idea of uniting all Africa has its greatest development early in the 20th century. In this context, reparations for African people will never die. Dr. Clarke wrote in 1900s, Trinidadian lawyer H. Sylvester Williams called together the first Pan-African conference in London. The meeting attracted attention and put word Pan-African in the dictionaries for the first time. According to Dr. Clarke, there were 30 delegates to the conference who mainly came from England, the Caribbean, and the United States. Dr. W.E. Du Bois led a small delegation from the United States. When we use the term Pan-Africanism, we must be very clear. Pan-Africanism is the belief that people of African ancestry throughout the world have the same racial and cultural characteristics and the same social and economic conditions as a result of being of African origin. That doesn't mean supporting one who is a part of the system that plays us against one another, as well as takes the resources and we don't know our head from our behind on how to recover from the degradation and the oppression that we have suffered for over 1,000 years. He is not a Pan-Africanist. Listen. Are we just getting started, family? Throw that thumbs up. He is not a Pan-Africanist. Period, point blank. Let's go. Let me identify what a Pan-Africanist is. The history of Pan-Africanism dates back to the mid-19th centuries. Endeavor to institute this Pan-Africanism gained momentum in the early 20th century. This is just a rewrap of what I just said to a degree. And the first Pan-African Congress took place in 1919 in Paris. The fifth Pan-African Congress was held in Manchester, England in 1945. A prominent nationalists such as Kwame Nkrumah and Jomo Kenyatta played a crucial role in it. This was the Congress Nkrumah, and this heralded as the transfer of leadership from Pan-Africanism from African Americans to African. The Pan-Africanism value is liberation ideology was apparent as countries gained independence from colonial rule. Ghana's first president, Kwame Nkrumah, was a prominent Pan-Africanist, and on the eve of the wake of decolonization, he believed the colonialism would end once Africans were united. That doesn't mean unite with Trump. You hear what I say? That is not what Pan-Africanism is. Even in the wake of decolonization, there were warning signs and misgiving as to the non-vitality of the new sovereign states and they're talking about Africa at that point. But that is not what Pan-African is. You don't pander for those who have been working towards your demise. You don't pander that. You don't do that. Now, hold up. One of the things that we got to get straight. Many people will probably see this presentation, right? Many people will try to see this presentation and say, well, you know, Trump back in the day was, why y'all hard on Trump? Trump back in the day was with Don King. He was with this one, he was with that one, he was with this one, he was that one. Listen, a slaveholder never had a problem with making money off of slaves. A slaveholder has never had a problem with making money off of slaves. Don't tell me that he was with this person and he was that person, and he was with that person. They've never had a problem with making money off of slaves. That is not the litmus test for one who has your best interest in heart. In fact, let's talk about it. One of Trump's statements, let's deal with that. Before anybody talk crazy, let's deal with that. One of Trump's statements in 1991. A book by John O'Donnell, former president of Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, quoted Trump's criticism of a black accountant. Black guys counting my money, I hate it, says Trump, quote unquote. The only kind of people I want counting my money are short guys who wear yarmulkes every day. I think that guy is lazy, and it's probably not his fault because laziness is a trait in blacks. It really is. I believe that. Now, don't that sound like Trump? It really is. I believe that. It's not anything they can control. Trump said in 1997 Playboy interview. So don't sit up there and tell me that, in the 80s, Trump was with this person. He was with that one. The slaveholder don't have no problem making money off of slaves. No problem whatsoever. So don't tell me. If you don't know history, people can tell you anything. This guy can sit up there and tell you he a pan-Africanist and don't know the first thing about pan-Africanism. Don't know the first thing about pan-Africanism. But he can sit up there and tell you that if you don't know no better. But see, we know better here. We know better here. You follow what I'm saying? Watch this. We know better here. See, you can't play that here. You can't play that here. Watch this, fam. This guy is so weird to me. He is so weird to me that I've never said nothing about this guy. Because he's not, listen, I'm the type of person like this. If I can't rock with you in real life, I ain't really got nothing to say to you. Anybody like that? Anybody like that? Like, if you see somebody that don't really, you like I just stay away. I stay out the way. Because you the type that I could never rock with in real life, so I ain't got nothing to talk about you. Good, bad, or indifference. Mama say if you can't say nothing good, don't say nothing at all. You follow me? If you can't say nothing good, don't say nothing at all. You understand what I'm saying? So I never said nothing about this guy. It was no need to. You know what I mean? But I tell you what, in the meantime, in between time, I knew that this guy didn't seem right. I've been saying it since he came out the woodwork, man. Something ain't right about this guy. I've been seeing it. People saying, you and him should team up. You and him should team up. For what? Let me show you something. This crazy guy goes and make this video. What would possess him to make this video right here? Give me 1 second. What would possess this guy to make this video right here? Tariq Nasheed defeats Taharkabey in court. Taharkabey Morris World TV in court. Now, the problem is this. I could care less. The problem is this, though. If you really had a problem with Tariq in any way, shape, or form, you don't know what happened in court. why didn't you just reach out to me? I wouldn't have talked to you anyway. But why didn't you just reach out to me? I would have gave you enough so you won't make a fool out yourself. But you make something that Tariq defeats. And then when I come out the courtroom, let me show you something. Let me see if I can find the video. Do y'all got time tonight? Y'all got time tonight? Y'all got time tonight? Family, listen to this. I can't give you everything on how I move. You know what I'm saying? I can't give you everything because these goofies go for anything. Listen to this, family. Press 7 if you remember this. Y'all remember the video? Do y'all remember the video where I'm walking out the courtroom, right? And I'm doing like this? Where my phone? Where my old phone at? I'm walking out the courtroom and I'm doing like this. I keep looking back. Anybody remember that? Press 7 if y'all remember that. I'm like, yeah, you know, got to get me an attorney, and I'm looking back. Anybody remember that? Press 7 if you remember that. I kept looking back. Fam, I'm going to give it to you $1, family. Tariq was scared to come out the courtroom. He was scared to come out the courtroom. I was looking back to see if y'all going to see him coming out the courtroom. I'm in Baltimore. I walk the streets and work in Baltimore every day. What I'm scared of? People are so goofy. Tariq was scared to come out the courtroom. He stayed in the lobby. He would not come out the courtroom. He stayed in the lobby looking at his phone like this, staring in his phone. I was standing there seeing if he's going to come out the courtroom. Come out the court building. And it's more to the story than that, too. Let me tell you the rest of the story to that, since he think he knows so much. While I was in the court, and we left out, let me give you this. Thank you, family. I don't have to block my comments. A man-to-man conversation. The accused is right here. Who is that? Free Black Media. Let me take a break for Free Black Media for a second. He said, I'm right here. You don't have to block my comments. A man can have a man-to-man conversation. The accused is right here. Now you want to have a man-to-man conversation? Now, after 2 videos in, you want to have a man-to-man conversation? You wasn't man-to-man when you went 2 videos in. So we're going to have a man-to-woman or man-to-trans-man conversation tonight. That's what we're going to have. Not even a woman. A man-to-trans-man conversation tonight. We're not going to have a man-to-man because you didn't come like a man. You came like a trans man. And so we're going to have a trans man conversation tonight. That's what we're doing. Now, that's what we're doing. Because you ain't want to have a man-to-man conversation. That could have been easy. So we're going to have a man-to-trans-man conversation tonight. That's what we're going to have. That's what we're going to have. That's what we're going to have. A man-to-trans-man conversation. You heard me? That's what we're going to have. Because only a trans man that's confused would move like you moved. It didn't make sense. I've never called your name. I've never mentioned your name in the left. Never. But this would clout get you. In my video, in the video with my name in it, is your most productive video that you ever had. Keep using my name, because every time you use my name, you're going to send people over here, and I'm just going to drag you even more. And we're going to build Moorish World TV off of your fallacy. Got no problem with it. People going to love it. Keep saying my name. They going to love it. Because I'm going to build it off of your fallacy. Period, point blank. Now, let's get busy. With that being said, now, One of the things that this guy, I'm gonna get back to Pan-Africanism in a minute. One of the things that this guy said was, he should have called me. He should have called me. I beat Tariq in court. When somebody sent me the video, I go there in the comment section and I say, somebody block y'all too. You don't get no link, y'all. Block him too. Somebody block y'all. Block y'all too. You don't get nothing. Be quiet. You don't get nothing. Make up another fake account. I go in the comment section and I say, what did I lose? This guy says, I'm only speculating. You gonna make over an hour-long video of speculation? I said, what did I lose? He can't say. He don't even know what happened. He cannot say. He don't know if I'm pump faking. He don't know if I'm 52 fake outing. He don't know nothing. All he know is what Tariq said. That's all he knew is what Tariq said. And that shows you who has the influence of these weird people. You hear what I said? That shows you who has influence over these weird people. Because the only thing he knew is what Tariq said. He didn't have no research. He didn't have no paper. He didn't have nothing. Only thing he went off is what Tariq said. That shows you right there that he trusts what Tariq says. Press 7 what I said. Press 7, fam. You understand what I'm saying? Listen to the deep psychology of it. You don't repeat something that your enemy supposedly says unless you believe your enemy. You don't repeat that. I would never repeat something that one who I'm at odds with and hold it as the truth. But is that his enemy? Is that his enemy? That's the question right there. That's the question right there. You never repeat something of a person that you are at odds with unless it's smoke and mirrors. This is critical thinking hour here, family. This is critical thinking hour. Why would he repeat something that Tariq says? He don't have no backup proof. He might can go get some now, but at that time, he didn't have nothing. That's a dead giveaway. That's a dead giveaway. You understand what I'm saying? And not only did he did one, he did two and repeating the same thing. Taharkabey denies losing in court. I didn't deny anything. I said, what did I lose? It's chess, not connect four, fool. I'm asking you, what did I lose? Since you say I lost, show me what I lost. I don't owe you nothing. I ain't got to tell you nothing. I ain't got to tell you how to move your drop your checkers and connect four. I ain't got to do that. I ain't got to tell you why I look like I did when I came out the court. I ain't got to tell you why I play my cards the way I do. I ain't got to tell you nothing. But the point of the matter is, you made 2 videos off the strength of what you say. Somebody that is an op. How can you make videos off of what somebody you claim is an op? Someone you claim is a grifter. Someone you claim is a scammer. Someone that you claim is disingenuous. How can you take his word and then make 2 videos about anyone? Not even me. Anyone for that matter. This disqualifies you as a Pan-Africanist because you can't think. Your thinking capacity is at minimal. You can't think. And then you knew I was going to say something. You already know. So that leads me to believe that you were baiting me for those that you are in operation with. You already know I'm going to say something. You just don't know when. You know I'm going to say something. You already know that's my style, but you was hoping that I say something when you did it, because at that time, the height of what was going on with the situation legalities, you thought I was going to say something, didn't you? You thought I was going to say something, didn't you? Let me break it down to you, family. Right when he made the video, it was at the opportune time. Mr. Nasheed was desperate. He didn't know what was going on. He claimed that he won this and he got this done, he got this done. He was desperate. And at this point in time, Brandon comes and makes this video. And so he's hoping that I will respond to redirect me from the normal conversation of Moorish World TV. But nah. I fight wars like Hannibal. I get you surrounded first. I bring you out to the opening first. And then we canvass the whole field. And we surround you first. We let you start busting off. You know what I mean? Simmy Sam. We let you bust off a little bit until you run out of shots. And then we surround you. And then we let you load up again and do it one more time. And then we dig it up and do it again. See, what we do here on Moorish World TV, we're very strategic in this mental warfare, this intellectual warfare as it plays out on social media. Every move is calculated. Every move is measured by your lack thereof, because you don't have an understanding of what's going on. You think this is random. I know. You think this is all random. You don't know that we've been watching you. We've been watching you for over a year. You just don't know. You don't know. You don't know what I'm going to show tonight is just a tip of the iceberg as an introductory lesson. And then we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more coming after you drop another one. You can't say nothing about me. Everything ever on the internet been said about me. But no one know who you are. Don't nobody know who you are. What you going to say about me? What you going to say? Nothing. So shoot your shots. Nothing you can say. But what I'm going to say is, number one, you are not a Pan-Africanist. I mean, number one, there's nothing about you that is a Pan-Africanist. Number two, you're running around calling yourself Moochie. I mean, not Moochie. Pause. My apology, Moochie. You're running around calling yourself Boochie, a gay op bear that someone named you, and you proudly wear it. You proudly wear it like a weird guy. You feel what I'm saying? You proudly wear it like a weird guy. Unbelievable to me that you would even come out your mouth talking crazy. Now, let's go over some things that I need to address right now. You know what I mean? Number one, if y'all been watching Brandon, because I'm not calling you Bucci. Your name ain't no Bucci. Your name is Brandon. Your code name is Bucci, but your name is Brandon. So if y'all been watching Brandon, do y'all remember when Brandon said, Tariq had said something online about what happened at court, and Brandon said that he was going to get the transcript. Press 7 if you remember that. Press 7 if you remember that. Do you remember Brandon say he was going to get the transcript? Family, we are still waiting for the transcript. Anybody remember that? Press 7. Anybody been watching that? Anybody been paying attention? Remember, he was supposed to get the transcript and say exactly what happened. Anybody remember? I've been paying attention. He said, I'm going to read it. We ain't seen the transcript yet. Let me show you the difference. I told you that I'm going to get the transcript from me and Tariq going to court. I got the transcript. I said it and I did it. I got the transcript. Why didn't he ever get the transcript? Well, first of all, family, the clue is right here. Here is the clue. The clue is right here in the court document, right here. In the court document, it says Tucker. It says, Mr. Nasheed does not request an order prohibiting Mr. Tucker from contacting anyone regarding Mr. Nasheed or from posting derogatory criticism of Mr. Nasheed. Then what's the point of going to court? Petitioner requests civil harassment order which merely prohibits Mr. Tucker from expressing his message in close proximity of Mr. Nasheed and his family. Now, how can someone lose a case like that? He's never around Mr. Nasheed. This is a bogus, trumped-up thing to make it sensationalize a story. Listen to me. Let me slow it down for me. Let me slow it down for you. Family, if someone takes you to court for harassment and say they feel in danger, and then in court they file the document that says, I'm not trying to stop him from saying anything, I just don't want him to say it around my family. When in fact, they have never had contact ever before. They have never been in close proximity of each other, except when they went to court. How can a judge actually enforce this unless a judge is incompetent? Tucker from contacting, he said, listen again, Nasheed does not. Now his lawyer wrote that and underlines it in all caps. Underlines it in all caps. His lawyer underlines it in all caps. Mr. Nasheed does not request an order prohibiting Mr. Tucker from contacting anyone regarding Mr. Nasheed. Family, when you got a real order, you don't want people to contact your business associates. You don't want people to contact your business. You don't want people to contact anyone who has something to do with what you're doing, because just like you're going to find out in a minute, that's what caused the tenants to move outside of the contract of the Hidden History Museum. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, let me read one more time. This is a kangaroo case. This ain't no real case. This is a kangaroo case. Listen, Mr. Nasheed, or posting derogatory criticism of Mr. He don't even care if he posts derogatory criticisms. You hear what I said? He doesn't care if he posts derogatory criticisms. Who puts in a case in the court of law that says, I do not care if you post derogatory criticisms? That's called controlled opposition. You hear what I say? That's called controlled opposition. Because if you're going to file something and you're going to make up lies, and you're going to tell a bunch of lies, one thing you're going to do is make sure that you put a brick wall in between that which is bothering you. Because you never came in contact with each other. So the only thing could be bothering you is the things that he's saying on the internet. He never been around you. So this is a kangaroo case. This is a kangaroo case to bring sensationalism and attention to someone who has the cop and robber thing going on. The good cop, bad cop thing going on. The good guy, bad guy thing going on. That's all this is. Look at this. Petitioner requests civil harassment order which merely prohibits Mr. Tucker from expressing his message in close proximity of Mr. Nasheed and his family. When has that ever happened? Mr. Nasheed only requests Mr. Tucker be restrained from doing those acts within 100 yards of Mr. Nasheed. What is 100 yards? Nasheed and member of his immediate family, home, workplace, vehicles, and schools. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. See, they don't expect us to read the great detail about this stuff. They don't expect us to look into this stuff. Not until Moorish World TV do we look into this stuff. Mr. Nasheed does not request an order prohibiting Mr. Tucker from engaging in any particular form of speech with respect to Mr. Nasheed, including the types of speech being complained in his restraining order. Did y'all see that? Listen again, family. Am I yelling too loud? Am I yelling too loud? Mr. Nasheed does not, and his attorney underlines it, Mr. Nasheed does not request an order prohibiting Mr. Tucker from engaging in a particular form of speech with respect to Mr. Nasheed, including the type of speech being complained in his restraining order request. Mr. Nasheed does not request an order mentioning or prohibiting Mr. Tucker from making statement on any subject or content as long as so at the distance and the statement's contents do not constitute illegal. Who files a complaint? Who files a complaint in a court of law and underline does not? Put emphasis on does not. Does not. You're filing a complaint. You want the extreme judgment. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying, family, before we go any further. When one files a complaint, they want the extreme judgment that the judge can render. They don't file you. They don't want you to do this. They don't want you to do that. Where does that make sense? You've never seen that before in the court of law ever in your life. Never. 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 You ain't never seen that before. Don't nobody file nothing for harassment and then say, I do not want this and I do not want this. And you can say whatever you want. And you can say whatever you want. That don't make sense. That doesn't make sense. How does that make sense? So all of this back and forth about Tariq Nasheed and he's an op and he's a scammer. Man, this guy is a controlled opposition for Tariq Nasheed. And this is why Tariq said, I don't want to stop him from saying anything. Why? Because Tariq need him to say something. He don't need me to say something because there is no limits to the research that I'm going to bring out. But one who is controlled, there is a limit of how far this guy will go. There is a limit. There is a limit. This is fact. Man, listen. Hold up, family. Again, let me ask you, where does this guy come from? What group has he been a part of? What group has he been a part of? What group has he been a part of? Family, the only thing that you know about Pan-African Strikes Back is that he strikes when he wrestles. That's the only thing you know, that he strikes when he wrestles. He strikes when he sword fight. He loved the sword fight. That's what he doing. That's what he doing. See what I'm talking about? This is what he like to do. He like the sword fight. You know what I mean? He love the sword fight with them peens. You know what I mean? He sword fight with them peens and then gonna come for me. You know what I mean? That's the only time he strike is when he sword fight. That's the only time he fight. Or when he strike. He's sword fighting. Yeah, that's right. On God. That fool sword fighting. I mean, on God. I'm trying to tell you. That's what he doing. That's the only time he strike. Now, let me tell you something, family. Why would someone give him the name of Pan-African Strike Back? Why would someone give him that name? Because he didn't pick that name because he's not a Pan-Africanist. He doesn't know the first thing about being a Pan-Africanist. You know what I mean? He doesn't know the first thing about being a Pan-Africanist. I'm telling you. Although he claimed Long Beach, a lot of what he's been involved in was jock sports and European company. And he got some brothers that rock with him, I'm pretty sure. But majority of his mentality, and you can hear it, is Eurocentric, conservative, Republican rhetoric. You can hear it. And this is why. He's become a part of this type of brainwash right here. As you can see, he's the token. And yes, this is a sport that's dominated by those outside of our group. But this shows you how a person is intermingled into a concept. It's all about who you are around and what you take in. You follow me? There is no way that you cannot be around people and not become a part of that, or they become a part of you. You understand what I'm saying? It's impossible for that to actually happen. You hear what I'm saying? Now, one thing that I want to share with you is Pan-African Strikes Back. He does the most weirdest things that you ever want to know. On his page, in this video right here, this is what he says about a youth that's doing something stupid. I mean, breaking the glass and running in the Foot Locker, right? He said they should be shot dead or locked away for a decade because the youth, our next generation, is making stupid, silly, bad decisions. And his only response is they should be shot dead or locked away for at least a decade. How can you be a Pan-Africanist if your concept of recovery is to kill those who have been manipulated, who have been destroyed for the lack of knowledge, who have gone down the wrong path? And in fact, why would you even pick a story like that to say they should be shot dead when, in fact, in any society where poverty is abundant, it doesn't matter where it is in the world, people will do the most extreme nonsense than you would imagine. And it has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with complexion of skin. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the element in which a person was raised up in. This happens around the world. You should know that. You traveled around with these Europeans in this wrestling thing. You should know that. That it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are or your background as it relates to your identity. It has everything to do with the poverty level in which you've been raised or the ignorance in which you have been fed. That's in China. That's in Japan. That's in the UK. That's everywhere. But you choose to do like Tariq Nasheed does. Go and pick out the worst of the worst that you can find on the internet and highlight it, act as if you saying something slick. But this ain't slick, King. This ain't slick, King. They should be shot dead or locked away for at least that ain't slick. That's slick. That's slick. They do the same thing in China. You can find a video in China of them doing something destructive. Why not do that? You can find a video in the UK where Europeans doing something destructive. Why not do that? You can find a video. See, this is the thing. This is the thing. You do exactly what Tariq Nasheed does. Exactly. And you do exactly what the mainstream news does. You look at the worst of us and then you highlight it and acting like that's all of us. As opposed to trying to correct the problem, address the problem, you want to highlight the problem. And the only solution is to kill. Look at this about the sister that was going to torch. Let me stop this one here. This is how confused he is. Watch this. Give me 1 second. So, the sister was about to torch the MLK demonstration. He says, I wouldn't have stopped her. Burn it down. That's December the 8th. Y'all see that? A woman charged after trying to burn down Martin Luther King Jr.'s birth home in Atlanta. Y'all see how crazy this is? Burn it down. Now listen to this. Why is that an intelligent response? Why is that intelligent? That ain't an intelligent response. You shouldn't want destruction of anything. Whether it's Martin Luther King house or whether it's your house or whether it's anybody's house, your neighbor house, anybody. You shouldn't want that. What point does that make? What point does that make? Burning anything down. Anyway, he comes back. Later in the day, they should have stopped her. I'm live now and explaining my reasons. Tap in. So it shows you that this guy is a loose cannon of ignorance. He's a loose cannon of ignorance. He has no patience to look into something before he opens his mouth. That's reckless, that's irresponsible, and that's dangerous. And that's how people are used as ops against us as a people. Because they find someone like that and they're easily used and manipulated because they're reckless. They're easily used and manipulated. When one would just turn on their camera and just start talking, that one there can be used by the power structure that be. Anytime. I mean, somebody block Martin Fry. Let me block Martin Fry. Martin Fry says, I subscribe to your podcast. I don't like Nasheed, but you need to quit right now. You're losing it, bro. Nope, you're gone now. Peace. Get out of here. Don't unsubscribe. You ain't even got to unsubscribe. I just blocked you. Get out of here. Anyway, back to the show. With that being said, this same guy claims to be a Pan-Africanist. Who should the Republicans nominee be? Trump, of course. How can you be a Pan-Africanist pushing the Trump agenda or from a Pan-African perspective, pushing the Trump card or the Democratic card? How can you claim Pan-Africanism? How can you claim? That doesn't make sense. That's an oxymoron to claim that you're a Pan-Africanist. I mean, listen to this. Another Trump tidbit fact. 1973, the U.S. Department of Justice, under Nixon administration, out of all administrations, sued the Trump Management Corporation for violating the Fair Housing Act. Federal officials found evidence that Trump had refused to rent to black tenants and lied to black applicants about whether apartments were available. Among other accusations, Trump said the federal government was trying to get him to rent to welfare recipients. In the aftermath, he signed an agreement in 1975 agreeing not to discriminate to renters of color without admitting to previous discrimination. Don't tell me about no Trump. Because the first thing that somebody gonna say is, well, what's wrong with Trump? How fast we forget. How soon we forget. How soon we forget that the same people that you say, what's wrong with Trump or what happened to him running with this person and running with that one, it's the same one. It's the same one that came for our people. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. And now, look here. And this is the same one right here. It's still Trump 2024. A proven record versus hyper emotion and anti-black soft soaping. Now, the whole thing is, what proven record does Trump have? It's a guy, and I hope y'all can check this guy YouTube out. His name is one second. Let me pull him up real quick. His name is, he challenged him. His name is Afro. Where did I put that thing at? Where did I put it at? He challenged him to show his track record, show Trump's track record, and we still waiting for it. We still waiting for it. You feel me? We still waiting for it. What is Trump's track record for us? Letting Kodak blackout? Is that the track record? Afro Think Tank. That's who I'm talking about. Afro Think Tank. I was looking for the video. Afro Think Tank. Here you go. Afro Think Tank. This brother here. He put out a brotherly challenge. Go subscribe to Afro Think Tank. Afro Think Tank. Now, I don't know. He might got a video on me. Who knows? But he challenged him to show what benefits to vote in voting Republican is. What are the benefits of voting Republican for the Republican Party? What are the benefits? What are the benefits? I think Afro Think Tank is still waiting for that response. Go check out the video. Afro Think Tank challenges Pan-Africanism, strike back. Go there and check it out. And he's very respectful. He's very cordial. He's very brotherly. I think he's still waiting on it. I think he's still waiting on it. I want to see the benefits. I don't know Afro Think Tank. I don't know Brandon. But I would love to see the benefits. You follow me? I would love to see the benefits. So go check that out. Anyway, with that being said, family, what we got to understand is when one will embrace someone calling him a tutti frutti bear that is a federal agent, something is wrong with that picture. This guy embraces someone calling him a tutti frutti bear that's an agent. What grown man that claim that they stand for something, okay, say it's a joke. Then that just means that you're just doing this just to be doing it. You're doing this because you got nothing else to do. You don't have no principles. You're just doing this because you ain't got nothing else to do. That's what it is. See, if you wasn't doing that, that's what you be doing. How you getting our conversation anyway? How you getting our conversation? This ain't even your conversation. This ain't your conversation. You ain't got nothing. Listen. The guy goes to Kenya and acting as if he's buying a plot of land or he bought a plot of land and all that. And he think that makes him Pan-Africanist or Pan-Africanist or whatever the case may be. But with that being said, one second. With that being said, I'm pulling something up. With that being said, you just going there to capitalize no different than the Chinese do. You just going there, if you got some land there, you just going there to capitalize. You're not going there to try to build nothing. You see opportunity of capitalism. Because this is where you at right here. This is where you be cooning and fooling. This is where you at right here. The European got a little smile on his face, and you got to be a coon. You got to act a plumb fool. I mean, this who you are. This who you are. This who you are right here. You got to act a plumb fool. But let me tell you something, family. At the end of the day, family, I was trying to figure out where did this guy, now I know without a doubt or contradiction, he is not a Pan-Africanist. I know without a doubt or contradiction. But I always try to figure out, like even Tariq Nasheed, who gave him that name? You know what I mean? Sean! Even Tariq Nasheed, I always wonder, you know what I mean? My curiosity always gets to me. Who gave him that name? Because he's not a Muslim. He doesn't practice anything even remotely close to what the name identifies. And I asked myself, who gave Tariq Nasheed that name? I haven't come up with anything yet. I know he wasn't born with that name. You know what I mean? But then I asked myself the same thing about a lot of people I researched. How did he get his name? And now, if you look closely, it's unfortunate that I have to say this, a lot of the people who have been ops in our community, they came in through the door of NOI. Whether they was a part of NOI or not, they will use the NOI name And I'm not saying, let me change that. Let me rephrase that. Most people use NOI identity or associate themselves. Like, for instance, you take Big Shirley. You take Big Shirley, for example, Crystal Muhammad, she takes on the term name Muhammad. But I couldn't see her in MGT ever. You know what I mean? But she takes on the term Muhammad, the name Muhammad, and you know that's common with NOI. You look at even, let me get Michi X. Now, I don't think she's an op. But I do think that she put the X on her name, and that associates with Malcolm X, NOI, etc., etc. When you look at a lot of the names, you look at Tariq Nasheed. He used NOI, FOI. He runs with Reza, and it's always a connection there some kind of way. If you name somebody that that's considered a little bit on the outside, they always using something associated with the NOI, one way or another. Most of the time. I'm not saying that they were a part of NOI, so don't get it twisted. But they always using something associated with the NOI. It could be a name, it could be the way they dress, it could be something. But they always do it. You know what I mean? And it's no different than these people. But with Pan African Strikes Back, I was like, where did he get this name from? Where did they get this name from? You know what I mean? And so I was reading and I discovered this. Tell us about the time you spent recently both with Europeans in Pan and your impressions of both tournaments. How do their level compare? Europeans was kind of rough for me. This is Brandon. Europeans was kind of rough for me, but overall it was a great experience. I have never traveled to Europe to compete before, so I wasn't aware of how much the jet lag would affect me. But I am not into excuses. I fought Ugaza, and it was a great fight. And I emerged the winner. I can't say enough about how good Yaguza is at BJJ. And what a genuinely nice person he is. Then I fought a Brazilian from Nova, and was burned out and ended up passing my guard and beat me on point. I love the experience, especially Andre Galvao won the open fight, and I believe Atos, our team, won the tournament. PanAm's was epic. So the highlight of his wrestling career was the PanAms, hence Pan African. PanAm was epic. I avenged True Loftus, felt really great, didn't feel tired at all. Managed to bring home the gold for the team. So that just makes sense to me that he would adopt the name Pan-Africanist because the highlight of his life was the Pan-Am Wrestling Games. Y'all feel what I'm saying? The Pan-Am was the highlight of his life. So it only makes sense if someone makes you into an op, you will take a name that's familiar and he takes Pan-African. But he don't know anything about Pan-Africanism. He don't know anything about Pan-Africanism. But in order to infiltrate the conversation, he grabs onto something that's familiar. And this is how it always happened. He tells you that the Pan-Ams was epic. It was the highlight of his life. According to him. So why wouldn't, if he's going to use a code name to play both sides of the fence, why wouldn't he use Pan-African? Why wouldn't he? It makes sense. They're going to call this plebiscite battling. Somebody said, educate us on Pan-Africanism. I already did, but I got a few more slides coming for you in a second. Hold on one second. Hold tight. Now, in fact, let me give you something real quick. One thing about Pan-Africanism. My bad. My bad. One thing about Pan-Africanism, right? Give me 1 second. That's the man right there. You follow me? That's the man right there. Now, in 1921, Pan-African Conference took place in Westminster from the 27th through the 29th, attended by Ojo Oligurgali, Nigeria, Paul Panda, Congo, reps from Ethiopia, Madagascar, Grenada, Guadeloupe, Haiti, Liberia, Angola, Morocco, South Africa, East Africa, and was represented by Normalese white administrator who opposed colonialism. There was more radical agitation for freedom. Conference discussed land question raised by Lays, how land was denied Africans in Kenya, Rhodesia, Mali, and Uganda. European reaction was fear of revolution and black domination. They wasn't planning to vote for Trump. They wasn't planning to vote for Trump. They wasn't pushing the American political system to vote for Trump. They just wasn't. So how does this guy push an American political agenda for a Republican Party? Now, I don't have no problem with people participating in politics, but I've said it once and I'll say it a million times. Politics, regardless who you vote for, it's a group of people who are voting for the agenda for them to stay on top and us to stay on the bottom. And the process of doing it, it just differs slightly. So the process of a Trump agenda, it just differs from the process of a Biden agenda. The process of a Republican agenda, it differs from the process of a Democratic agenda. The only way that you should enter into politics is if you are 1,000 strong in the city and everybody vote for one person out of that 1,000 and everybody hold fast to putting that individual in power. But just random voting to someone that they put before you is insanity. The only way to politics, there is no other way. You have to have at least 1,000 local strong, minimum. 1,000 local strong, and that 1,000 rally around that one. That 1,000 duplicate themselves into 2,000. That 2,000 duplicate themselves into 4,000. And that 4,000 determine that one out of that 4,000 that everybody is going to get behind and put them in office. That's how politics work. That's how politics work. Politics does not work that someone is put in front of you and you run with it. That ain't how politics work. That's the Western concept of politics. That's the Western concept. The real concept of politics is that everybody got to raise one up from amongst themselves. That's it. Other than that, it'll never work. It'll never work. And it doesn't matter what party you're a part of. The party that you're a part of really doesn't matter. What really matter is how strong the group is. Somebody, let me, first black media, let me block him real quick. All right, cool. There we go. Yeah, so at the end of the day, both sides that they put in front of you, see, if you want to be successful, you have to select your leader, not elect your leader. When you elect your leader, that means someone put them in front of you and you elect them. When you select them, you grab them from amongst yourself and you push them into power. You have to select your leader, not elect. Select happened before they even hit the big stage. Select happens even before the world knew who they are. That's what selects happens. Until we learn the real dynamics of politics, you're gonna have people like Bucci talking about vote for Trump. You're gonna have people up there talk about Trump is for us. You're gonna have people like that. And true pan-Africanism is to separate from the colonists. True pan-Africanism is to separate from the colonists. That's what it's all about. True pan-Africanism is not working with the colonists. That ain't how it works. Listen, Dr. John Henry Carr. Powerful people cannot afford to educate the people they oppress, because once you are truly educated, you will not ask for power. You will take it. You will not ask for power. You will take it. So pandering for the Republican or the Democrat is pretty much you asking. Give me reparations. Give me this. Give me that. Give me this. Give me that. Now, I'm not saying that they don't owe us anything. I'm not saying that they don't owe us anything. But what I am saying is, how do you expect a thief to pay you back something that they stole? How do you expect a thief that continues to perpetuate this oppression that we have to give us anything? Just because you say they owe you. And you got people that's running around acting as if they are moving the meter. Now, shout out for those who are moving the meter. But a lot on this social media construct, these people ain't moving a meter an inch. It's entertainment. There's something to do because they got nothing else to do. You know what I mean? Tariq would look at this brother and call him a tether. You feel what I'm saying? How disrespectful would that be? How disrespectful would that be? Seek ye first the political kingdom, and all else will be added unto you. Kwame Nkrumah. Come on now. But we don't know how to function in politics today. All we know how to do is vibe with somebody that they give us. And then we got these people running around that's doing the bidding. They're doing the bidding for whoever they send us. Dr. Carl Henry Clark. Oh, we ain't finished yet. Hold tight. It's time for black people to stop playing the separating game of geography or where the slave ship put us down. We must concentrate where the slave ship picked us up. Dr. John Henry Clark. Why is this guy pushing a Trump agenda, claiming to be pan-Africanism? Strikes back. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And just because this fool can go to Kenya and sit down with somebody and try to acquire a plot of land, that's no different than what the Chinese person is doing in Kenya. And we think that's an accomplishment. But we're not really looking at the agenda behind what one is doing. We're not even looking at the agenda. Listen to what he says. Why is this our business? He's talking about what happened in D.C. So going to the Capitol is illegal. family, he's trying to defend these Europeans going to the Capitol, tearing something up. I mean, it ain't my business, but I wonder how it became his business. I mean, I don't get that. He says going to the Capitol is illegal. As if that's my concern. As one who has been caught into the matrix of this crazy situation that we find ourselves in. Man, this just don't make sense to me that we go for this stuff. You know what I mean? That we go for this stuff. It don't make sense to me that we believe that this guy is a pan-Africanist. Look at this. He defending this foolishness. Trump supporters hold stop still rally in D.C. amid ratification of presidential election. He support like how is this our business? How do I say, oh, going to the Capitol is like what? That has nothing to do with us. What does this have to do with our liberation? Because a bunch of right wingers go to D.C. and act a plumb fool. What does that have to do with our liberation? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying right, wrong, or indifference. What does that have to do with our liberation? That don't have nothing to do with our liberation. And that's why I'm telling you that all this family. Let me move on. Let me move on because I want to share something else with you. Family, remember Pan African Strikes Back says that he was going to get. I mean, that he was going to get the transcript, right? Now, the funny thing about it is we haven't seen the transcript yet. You know what I mean? But now, let's look at this. On one of his podcasts, he shows a letter from the tenant that got moved out or that moved out of the museum. Remember when we discovered that someone was renting the museum that was supposed to be the museum, and we first revealed that? Y'all remember that? Press 7 if y'all remember that. We did that, and I hope I didn't offend the people there. I'm gonna send them an apology letter for that video because I was trying to make a point to show that it was being occupied by renters and not necessarily being developed into a museum. You follow what I'm saying? And so the funny part is how he gets the email letter and able to show it on his show. And not only does he get the email letter, how does he acquire the email? How does he acquire the email to even read it on the show? How does he do that? Maybe he can explain that another time. You know what I mean? But how does he get the email? How does that happen? Give me a second.
She sent this way back in August. Or, yeah, she sent this shit way back in August to Tariq.
Did I hear that? Did I hear that?
She sent this way back in August. Or, yeah, she sent this shit way back in August to Tariq.
How does he get access to this letter? I don't know. Maybe he got a valid explanation. Maybe he does. I don't know. I mean, but listen to this. Listen to what he says, and I want to see if you can.
Out of the building, which is an absolute lie. So here we go. This is Letty Vermeulen. This is to K Flex.
Listen close.
You can see that at the top right-hand corner. Guys, is the writing big enough for you all to follow along? Is the writing, give me a 1 if the writing is big enough for you all to follow along. I'm going to read the letter. I'm going to read it all also so that you guys can see it. This is the letter. This is the email from Letty Vermeulen sent to K-Flex, owner and broker associate of Aspire. She's the owner of Aspire Real Estate. Okay? This reason, the main thing that bothered her. The vandalism was one thing that was very disruptive.
First of all, how does he get a email between the tenant and Tariq? How does that happen? Family, how does he get an email unless he got it from the court, but he ain't got the transcript? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. How do you get, somebody says screenshot, how do you get it?
Right? So remember, we're talking about
Now, let's just say Tariq showed it and he got a screenshot of it. Let's just say that, for example. Listen to his commentary, though. I never seen it before, but hey.
Self-inflicted vandalism. This woman is saying, shit, the vandalism that you did to your own building was very disruptive. That's how people are. They don't want to deal with no damn vandalism. They don't want to deal with no vandalism in their place of business. These folks want to know that they can show up, work, and not be bothered. Okay? That's what they want. They want to show up and work and not be bothered. I'm giving you receipts. Contribute to, he got what he wanted. I'm giving you receipts. Contribute to the stream like my brother Red Pill Zulu. Thank you, my brother. Okay. The last few weeks have been very tough on our end. The vandalism was very disruptive. So that's the first thing he did, where he shot himself in the foot, right? That's the first thing. Why would you vandalize your own building? Pseudo museum there because we posted YouTube video that featured.
Listen closely to this part. Listen closely to this part. This is the dry. Pay close attention to this section.
First one. We have now been made aware of a recently posted YouTube video that featured the building we do business in, but also my agents, as well as my husband, and most importantly, our children. Their faces are all featured in this video. This is hurting my business, and my agents feel unsafe. See the following YouTube video that was uploaded. Now, we looked up this YouTube video. The YouTube video does not go back to me. The YouTube video actually goes back to Taharkabey. This YouTube video. The YouTube video does not go back to me. The YouTube video actually goes back to Taharkabey. This YouTube video. The YouTube video does not go back to me. The YouTube video actually goes back to Taharkabey. We discovered that in court. He said I snitched on Taharkabey. Oh, you threw this dude under, but no, I didn't. When we pulled up that video in court, that link, it went to Taharkabey. I told you guys, I didn't throw nobody under the bus. That lady said this video. Tariq tried to lie to the judge and tell her that that video was mine. The judge made them pull that shit up in court, led straight back.
Here's the question. Here's the question. If one is going for some sort of harassment suit, right? How does this video become a part of the conversation when in fact Tariq is saying that this guy, how does that even happen? This is out of context of what the case is filed about. Way out of context, because we read earlier that Tariq said that he doesn't mind him saying anything. Do I got to show it again? The bait and switch. It's out of context because it says that Tariq Nasheed does not request an order mentioning or prohibiting Mr. Tucker from making a statement on any subject or any content as long as it so is a distance. So how does that even fit? How does that even fit? Now, Takaya said it looked like the tenant broke her lease. Well, yes, the tenant walked away from the lease because the tenant felt that Tariq was disingenuous. And then in this same video, Brandon says that Tariq threatened to sue him, or first he said Tariq sued him for $25,000. Then he came back and said, oh, he threatened to sue me. He had to catch himself. He had to catch himself because there is no lawsuit there for Tariq against Brandon. Because in this letter, it claims that Tariq had to pay the tenant $25,000 to move, to relocate, et cetera, et cetera. And he says that, yeah, so Tariq sued me for $25,000. I mean, he said he was going to sue me. What is it? Did he sue you? Because in reality, ain't no lawsuit there. And here we go with the bait and switch, family. Let me drop this on you real quick. This is the logic of this guy. Hold up. This is the logic of this guy. He will call himself Bucci. Bucci visit Hidden Struggle Museum. He embraces being called a gay op bear. Number one. Look at this. He embraces this stuff. He embraces this stuff because it's controlled opposition. It's all controlled opposition. You follow what I'm saying? This is acting. This is props. One thing about social media, it's hard for us, some people, especially, I guess, our age, it's hard for us to understand that propaganda, advertisement, and all of that seems to be real from a social media perspective because all it takes if you turn your phone on and you can organically say anything that you want. When in fact, it's scripted just like reality TV. It's not reality. It's freestyle, but it's also a theme going. It's a storyline. And that's what social media is into. Social media has become to following a storyline, but it's all about propaganda, misinformation, disinformation, that edifies the storyline or that enhances the storyline. But it's all acting at the end of the day. It's all acting at the end of the day. Because this guy's not a pan-Africanist. I mean, I think I clearly proved that he's definitely not a pan-Africanist. I mean, he's definitely. You know what I mean? So, hold on one second. Let me get one more. Let me get one more for you. Listen to his concept. Listen to this concept right here. Let me find it real quick. Here we go. Listen to this concept.
I think about Japanese people. Less than 100 years ago, they had an atomic bomb dropped on not one, but two of their cities on a little ass island called Japan. Within that time, they've become, I think about Japanese people. Less than 100 years ago, they had an atomic bomb dropped on not one, but two of their cities on a little ass island called Japan. Within that time, they've become a technological giant within the world. They are wealthy, a very wealthy island nation, and they have made a permanent mark on the world as we know it. And they faced something that was absolutely horrendous. You have the Jewish people during the Holocaust. They went from 100 years ago being exterminated, genocide committed against their people. They've come back in a major way to control the financial sectors of the entire globe. Everybody, every race of people has some.
And he claimed to be a Pan-Africanist. And he claimed to be a Pan-Africanism. Do we understand that the continent of Africa has been under domination for the last 2,000 years? That it's been under occupation, that North Africa was a part of the Roman Empire? Do this fool understand that for the last 2,000 years, that the continent of Africa has been a target? And to compare something with an atomic bomb 100 years ago, is this fool insane? Do this fool understand the Ma'afa? Do this fool understand the tragedy of plucking people throughout the continent of Africa and spreading them around the globe for hundreds of years? And this fool is going to compare that with Japan. He's going to compare that with the Juby-Dooby-Doos and claim to be a Pan-Africanist? See, that's that right wing talk. Pull yourself up by your bootstrap talk. That's what that is. That's the right wing talk. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's what that is. How you gonna compare Nagasaki with the Roman Empire conquering Egypt? How you gonna compare that? How you gonna compare that? How you gonna compare that with the French conquering Morocco? How you gonna compare that? It's just silly that somebody would take this guy as a Pan-Africanist. How you gonna compare something like Nagasaki to the tragedy of Africa? And everybody who is seeded from the diaspora, how can you compare that? And somebody will actually entertain this guy calling himself a Pan-Africanist strike back or Pan-Africanism strike back? That doesn't make sense. We got to stop accepting these people. If we are the elders, right, and we know better, and you are watching this stuff, you're supposed to go in there, man. You ain't no Pan-Africanist. What makes you a Pan-Africanist? And shut him down. Don't let him say nothing, because he don't know what he's talking about. He already disqualified himself from saying vote for Trump 2024. And everything beside that is consistent with being a poser. Everything. There's nothing you can trust with this guy. There's nothing you can trust with this guy. There's nothing. Like, there's nothing there. But why would he use Pan-Africanism strike back? He knows nothing about Pan-Africanism. Nothing whatsoever. He doesn't. And it's a shame that, you know what I mean? Now listen, I know people might get upset, get mad and all that, but family, it is what it is. Whenever you see Tariq Nasheed bigging up Claude Anderson, have you seen Tariq Nasheed bigging up Claude Anderson? Press 7. Press 7. Because Claude right, is one of them ones that also came with that concept that we all alone by ourselves and nobody cares. He is one of the originals of that concept. Vicky Dillard. Big up Claude Anderson. Now, at one time, I would also big up Claude Anderson until I did the research. Till I did the research and found out Claude ain't right. Till I did the research and I say, hold up, this guy got the answer. Why haven't he executed it? This guy talks like he has the economic answer. Why haven't he executed it? And then I did the research about him and I found out he's not who he say he is. I found out he's not who he say it is. So whenever there's an op in play, they always run to Claude Anderson. They always run to him. Because at one time, he was the litmus test of some sort of consciousness as it relates to, quote unquote, black economic power. But even when he put something in place, it failed. There's nothing wrong with failure. You only get better. But when you really look deep into it, you'll begin to see that, hold up, man, this guy is playing for somebody else. This guy is playing for somebody else. And you try to put your hand on it, and you can't put your hand on it. But Moorish World TV had already done the research that this guy is playing for somebody else. So you see Reza, you see Vicky Dillard, you see Tariq Nasheed, you see all these people surrounding around this guy to validate themselves in their grift. I know we don't like to critique. I know we don't like to critique our elders per se, or those that we thought was legitimate. That's what problem we have in our community. It's a major problem that we have in our community, that we never want to double back and take a look and see who's who. You follow what I'm saying? We never want to double back and see who's who. But when you start to see this, you see that? When you start to see this, it start to be clearer what's really going on. It start to be clearer what's really going on. That the agenda is the agenda. And those who are a part of it is a part of it. It is what it is. You follow what I'm saying? The agenda is the agenda. This is why you will see Claude Anderson on the Breakfast Club at one time. The Grifting Breakfast Club. Tariq, also Breakfast Club. Tariq Rock Newman. Claude Rock Newman. All of this is a network. All of it. Vicky, Claude. All of it is a network. And there's a bigger hand. There's a bigger hand that you don't see. There's a bigger hand that you don't see. All of these people are on the same team. All of them. All of them. All of them on the same team. Each and every one of them. And until we wake up and hold people for who they really are, family, ain't no freedom. Let me tell you what I got to say before I go. Family, the only freedom that you got right now is if you are a part of a legitimate organization that has some integrity, y'all got a chance to work out some sort of personal freedom amongst yourselves. If you are a family man or woman, no matter what struggles you may have within the family unit, you have a chance for freedom. However that freedom ideal is in your mind, you have a chance. But when you're looking at these people on the internet promising you freedom and you buying into it, you don't stand a chance for freedom. You don't stand a chance. Somebody selling you a concept of freedom, you don't stand a chance. Pan-Africans, he is selling you a chance of freedom by the way of Donald Trump. You follow me? Donald Trump. This is the same Trump in 1980. Kit Brown, a former employee at Trump's castle, accused another one of Trump's business of discrimination. When Donald Trump and Ivana came to the casino, the boss would order all black people off the floor. Brown said, "It was the 80s. I was a teenager, but I remember it. They put us all in the back." You follow me? Come on, man. And everybody know about this one. The Central Park Five, where the DNA test said they wasn't guilty, and Trump still said, "I think they're guilty anyway." How can one be pandering for Trump? I ain't got nothing against him. I expect.
No, I was trying to explain to you the extreme importance in different ways why black folk are distinctively different from African. No, I was trying to explain to you the extreme importance in different ways why black folk are distinctively different from Africans coming here, Caribbean, any other blacks on earth, and distinctly different from any whites, immigrants coming to this country. We are unique people. That's what I was trying to tell you. There's nobody on this earth that's been treated and mistreated and maltreated historically and substitutionally except black folk. Everybody has come in this country and replaced us and gained all the benefits while we continue to stay locked in the bottom of the barrel.
Absolutely. And why do you think so many, and you pointed this out in the book, that so many black people think
this is the agenda? This is the agenda. This agenda been pushed for a long time. This is the agenda. Pay attention to the agenda. This is the agenda. Are you listening? Make sure you're listening, because this is the agenda. This is it.
that we have this camaraderie with these other falsely labeled minority groups, and we don't. They're not going to help us at all.
Nope. And see, we can't, again, because what black folk don't understand is that all these groups coming to America, they're coming in under the 1790 immigration laws that were put in effect 1 year after the Constitution was ratified as being a new nation. And the first thing the Congress did, and then a year later will say the Immigration and National Relations Law that this is a white nation, and anybody coming to this country who has the appearance of being or can classify themselves as being white in any respect will be entitled to all the benefits of this nation. But the black folk will be the only excluded group.
Listen, that's the scary tactic that is being pushed in these YouTube streets. That's the scary tactic. Somebody say, "Hi, Claude is a fraud." Would you want to join me live? Listen, good speech don't make someone legitimate. Good talk don't make someone legitimate. Proven track record Words, action, and deeds must be consistent. Words, action, and deeds must be consistent. I'm telling you, good talk does not qualify you to be legitimate. Listen, in order for one to be fooled, you have to be told some truth. In order for one to be manipulated, you will never be told a full lie. You'll never be told a full lie. But the agenda is hidden within, I'm trying to tell you. That's why we fall victim, because one can confirm our suffering and they can dupe us in the meantime. Just because one confirms your suffering don't mean that they are fighting for your liberation. Listen, I got a video I'm going to upload tomorrow where we lay out Claude Anderson from the time he came on the scene up until now. I already did the video. Just because one confirms your suffering don't mean that they're fighting for your liberation. Stop thinking that someone can tell you about your suffering and that makes them fighting for your liberation. That's how we get played. That's how we get played, and we continue to get played. How many people have checked the track record? A Shan Caesar, I invite you to the show, and I will show you that this guy is not who he say he is as it relates to a liberator of our people. Email me at Taharkabey@gmail.com. See, this is the part. See, let me say this before I get out of here. This is the part here that is leading me to do documentaries and break this stuff down. You feel what I'm saying? And this is why. Because many people, they fight back and they don't even know what's really going on. They fight back and they don't even know what's going on. They're not even intellectually or historically on point to know exactly what's going on. And they will argue with me. And then when I drop all the receipts, they be like, family, it's people that's been in our midst that people really love, that at any given moment, I can break down and show you they not who they say they are or say they were. Some of them long gone. But with that being said, family, I guess the night was a good night. Do anybody want to meet me center stage and defend against anything that I've said here tonight? Anybody? Just come and be respectful. Show me why you think these people are legit, because they gave you some good words, because they confirmed your oppression, because they confirmed statistics. Show me. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you with receipts why I say what I say. And I'm going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that what I say is accurate. I ain't been wrong yet. Sometimes I just put out just a little bit. Sometimes I just put out a little bit and people get to talking. This is why I say come to center stage. I'll let you talk. But I'm telling you, most people do not look into the intricate details of how people move. And it's all before your face. You follow me? It's all right before your face. So family, I think tonight was a good night. Did y'all enjoy y'all night tonight? That's one of them old school demonstrations right there. Y'all enjoy y'all night? Anybody enjoy the night tonight? I kind of enjoyed it. I'm waiting for part 2. Yeah, I'm waiting for part 2. Gucci, come out and play it. Gucci, come out and play it. Gucci, come out and play it. Make a video, Bucci. I got you. Bucci, come out and play it. I said, Bucci, come out and play it. What up, Fly? What up, Cryptonomics? Bucci, come out and play it. We just getting started. Bucci, come out and play it. We got the
internet drop.
We got the records here. Next we go into the records.
Let me tell you what I do, fam.
Huh? Bucci, why you make me do it? I'm just getting started.
Y'all some internet
Hey.
problems. You need to stop before someone catch you on the block and cock it.
Come on.
Catch you at your lecture and rock your knocking. Yeah, man and me.
Come on.
I'm exposing your robbing. See, I used to be a robber. I was robbing the thugs. And the agents in the hood selling nasty grub. I was only 17 and I didn't know better. Put the things in their face and said, give me the cheddar. But it really amazed me, the age of 40, that people will use the things that would annoy me to rob our people like Bibles and Qurans. Take your money and then they gone. Shoot, selling plagiarized books and dreams of unity. Blame the European, but look what you do to me. Got me thinking we gon' overcome, but when you cut your camera off, you're really one of them. You gon' have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the burbs. With your unks, your crystals, your books, your herbs. You convinced everybody that is white supremacy. The fact of the matter is you're the real enemy. You've been lying to the people fat in your pocket. You ain't nothing but an internet prophet. You gon' have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the birds. With your unks, your crystals, your books and herbs. Now they calling me the op cause I revealed the scam. They'll shake your hand and still grip your fam. They say Hotep, peace, black power, shalom. Assalamu alaikum, praise the Lord in Islam. But at the same time they plotting to get in your pocket. They will white label sunglasses, cups and watches. Make a profit for the enemy they talk about. I can't understand why you ain't been walking out. You ain't noticed since you met them, you slipping in life. On Twitter like the pipe and it just ain't right. Bank account got light and you haven't seen the light. You burn all the sage and ain't change your plight. Incense burning, crystals turning. Think to yourself, what you really learning? What you really saw? He gave him your all. He owned a museum club and an internet mall. Selling deodorant and hurry up and buy. He don't really care if you're broke and you die. You just acting like you don't care either. This is pure evil. Have to watch it back for the rest of your
Thank you, family.
Good and well, you can't sleep at night. You done robbed
We might do a
everybody
Claude
from the
Anderson
hood to the
upload
birds.
tomorrow,
Your crystals,
and then
your
we
books,
come back
your
the next day with a
herbs.
live stream.
Everybody that is white supremacy. The fact
Unless
of the
somebody
matter
send me an
is you're the
email.
real enemy. You've been lying to the people fat in your pocket.
You ain't nothing but an internet prophet.
You gon' have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the birds. With your unks, your crystals, your books and herbs. You gon' have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. Come on,
Yeah.
everybody from the hood
What
to the
up,
birds.
Black Girls Read?
Crystals, your
Steve
books
X
and herbs.
Crypto.
You convinced everybody
I'm
that
Boo
it's
X.
white supremacy. The fact of the matter is you're the real enemy. You've been lying to the people fat in your pocket.
You ain't nothing but an internet prophet.